Hey, good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Testing. Okay, great. Yeah, we have kind of 80 some people. So I'm working on admitting all of our classmates in. That's wait a while. Some people are still applying for getting into the Zoom link. So how are you guys doing? So you all arriving Hong Kong, or you are still in quarantine, or you will come a little bit later? Thank you, Kayan. I saw your face. You are probably in campus. Okay, it looks like most of you are in Hong Kong right now. All right, so I think I won't wait. I will keep on admitting people in. I know like someone on the way, but I think it's a good time to start our first lecture. Well, yeah, I hope to. I enjoy like teaching in the offline mode, so I can interact with you guys. But unfortunately, this class is kind of large size. What? Really? Shilong, you are in lecture 17? Seriously? Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going there. I'm in my office. Yeah, so because we have a class size larger than 80 or kind of number, so we have to be completely online via Zoom mode. I had another class, which is a mixed teaching mode. I can see half of the class sitting in front of me, which I enjoy quite a lot. But this class will be completely online, so I'm in my office. Oh, yeah, I forgot to admitting people in. Sorry. Yeah, Kayan, you are in AC2. That's why I say you are on campus. I saw your background like CDU campus. All right, anyway, although like we cannot do this course face by face, but I guess you guys are most are on campus, so you can access the facility. You still can chat with your friends. I bet like with the COVID situation getting better, not just in Hong Kong, but also the neighboring region, then we probably will have a change in the policy so that we can meet face by face. That could be great. So yeah, so we are 78 now. We probably have kind of 7 more. I don't know whether they will come. Yeah, but I will keep on admitting. Okay. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to attend Sdsc 6004 Data Analytics for Smart Cities. It is a major elective course in our master program, I guess. It was usually taught in the semester B, but this year we changed to semester A. The one good reason is that this course, we didn't require very complicated machine learning theories. So, and also this course is a kind of combination of data analytics and some of the domains. So it could be more conceptual and a well blend of qualitative and quantitative. And we also have a variety of attendees. Some of you from probably Master of Arts from other department, and some of you from our department, School of Data Science, and some of you from some engineering majors. So I think we have a variety of attendees. So to accommodate you all with a large variety of background, so I try to make this course a little bit more kind of adaptive into such kind of situation. I wish my goal is if you are from a art degree or qualitative background, I hope you can learn something more quantitatively. So if you're from more quantitative background, I hope you can get more domain knowledge so that you will understand the future direction of the data science applications in smart cities. Okay. So that's basically the goal of this class. Okay, some basic information. So first we will go through the course outline. This is very important. So this contains the information of this class, what we are going to teach, what is the assessment components, and what are the class materials that you need to read. So yeah, so this class will be taught semester A in 21 to 22. And the location will be via Zoom platform. And we meet every Thursday evening from 7 to 10, basically 9:50. Sometimes we might end up earlier. It really depends on our progress every day. And my name's Zhang Zijun or Zijun, or whatever way you want to pronounce my name. And I'm very happy to meet you all and very look forward to working with you all to go through this master. So the physical space of my office is Purple Zone of Yuan Kingman Academic Building 7318. And my telephone is 5328. So basically the best way of reaching me would be the email. So you can write to me if you get any if you got any problems, and I will try to respond here within 24 hours. Okay. So the teaching pattern, this class will be composed of majority lectures and some tutorials or some labs. Okay. And we will also introduce some case studies as well as your project presentation. Okay. So I would like to emphasize this class with more practical experience rather than doing a lot of assignments and doing a very difficult, theoretical proof-based examination. Okay, so I would like to see more your application skills, your practical skills, the way of applying machine learning and some AI techniques to do some project to turn it to some real value. Okay. So the objectives of this class include majorly we want to provide students with overall knowledge roadmap of scopes, approach, techniques, and systems in nowadays smart cities. And the main emphasis will be the data analytics process and methods which applied in nowadays smart city technologies and systems. Okay, so this is the outline of the course content. So today we will go through the very basic introduction of smart city, which include the nowadays scope of smart city and or the initiative of the smart city development. It is very emerging topic and it is in developing. So it has not shown its final form, and we don't know what the future will be, but we will know the current initiative and what are the thrusts in the development of the smart city and how data science play in the smart city development. Then next week, we will narrow down our topic into some process engineering and data-driven system modeling, which is some engineering aspects linking the system with the machine learning modeling. Okay, then we will spend 2 weeks to go through some very popular and classical data analytics and machine learning algorithms to help some of you who have not dealt with a lot of machine learning concepts. You could pick up quickly, okay, based on these 2 sections. Then we will have a brief concepts of deep learning and computer vision, as these 2 aspects are the main nowadays AI technology developed and the way of using data science to empower the intelligence into different machines and systems to make them intelligent. And the remaining half of the semester, we will go through a number of very classical applications of data analytics or data science techniques in a number of major areas of the smart city topics. And the first one will be in the power and energy field. The power and energy actually support the operations of the whole city. So it is number 1 important. And the second will be the transportation. That is, the infrastructure facilitates the mobility of our life. Okay. And the last one will be more on the healthcare part. Okay. Smart healthcare. And then we will have a review and project consultation. Then we will have 2 project presentation sessions. And I will introduce the class project a little bit later. The next part will be the assessment. So I guess every one of you care about it because this determines your class grades. But first of all, I would like to say one important sentence that you won't get a failure. You won't get a failure if you attend my classes and try to actively participate in your class projects and attend the final examination. Okay, you won't get failed. So this should be a kind of enjoyable course. Okay, and the evaluation. Yeah, so I know that in this semester, some of you might have some core courses which are more challenging and have a lot of loads. So I want this class to be a knowledge supplement, okay, to the theoretical part or technical part you learned from the core courses this semester, and to strengthen your view about the data science development in smart city. Yeah, in the near future. Yeah, but another sentence is getting A+ is not that easy. Okay, so there will be competitions in getting an A+. Okay, so then let me explain how I'm going to evaluate your performance in this class. So the assessment will be divided into two parts, each 50%. And the first part is the coursework, and the second part will be the examination. Okay, so the coursework will mainly rely on your class attendance, which is tiny chunk, but mainly rely on your group project, class project. I want to see your hands-on skills or some practical skills in the data science aspect. Okay, applying some of the data analytics skills to solve some problems. Okay, it really it might not be like I require everyone to be very deep knowledge in the deep learning or using some fancy methods. I mean, the methods does not matter that much, but the innovative way of thinking and the emerging scenarios of using data will be more emphasized. Okay, so that means like if one group using linear regression and another group using like deep neural network, I won't give a big difference between these two. Okay, I would like to check their problems, the problems that you investigate. So if the problems indeed reflect some linear relationship, like data has a linear relationship, you strongly justify that, and you discover that it is very true, then you got a good grade. Okay, so you will get a low grade if you have a linear problem. That means the system is linear, the data shows a strong linear relationship, and you apply a so-called deep learning into it. Then that would be kind of ridiculous or hilarious because you didn't know the correct way of using data science tools, right? So so that's the project. And the examination, we will have one final exam. Okay, it will be open book, and it will be, I don't know, I'm waiting for the order. What I was told is that the university will finally determine whether we can have some online mode of examination or all examination should be happened on campus. I don't know yet. I will be updated later and also update you guys later. So in this class, we don't have textbook. So all the materials will be the lectures, the lecture notes and tutorials, which will be available in the Canvas website, okay? And I'm going to ask the TA in this class to give the tutorial sessions. So basically, we design the tutorials based on a real situation. So we don't know whether you are going to work, okay? So you might work in some business sectors, traditional industry, which are developing data analytics. So most of those data are stored in some CSV files, Excel files, and that's why we will share some Microsoft Excel coding skills using macros to do some data analytics and data preprocessing. And some of you would like to if you got the license, I think it should be okay. No, you need to check because I'm not using my Mac operation system, so I'm not really familiar with it. But you need to check whether you have Visual Studio, okay? whether Visual Studio can be installed in Mac OS, because that will be the coding environment for running macros in Microsoft Excel. Okay, and also we will introduce free software for entry-level data analytics, which is called Weka. So you guys can practice some machine learning techniques or methods or tools via user interface enabled software, which is called Weka. Okay, and we will also introduce. I'm not. I guess I need to change it. It's not R. It's Python. So we will have some Python practice, which I might include R as well, because I don't know if you guys, some of you will work on more statistical learning side, then R will be more frequently utilized. But anyway, the Python will be the main. So yeah, so TA will teach you the Python coding to implement some of the machine learning techniques. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I will ask the TA to check whether the Mac OS can do some of the Excel macro commands. Okay. Well, like for the Python and R, you know, they are all advanced languages, so they are not that difficult as C++ and Java. So you are basically Python, you use sklearn and keras and so kind of R, then you download different packages. But anyway, we would like to give students some standard syntax of implementing some standard algorithm to make sure that you guys follow the procedure strictly, typically the training, testing, and yeah, and others. Yeah. Yep, I know Python is hard, but you know, that's why we will give it. But Python is also easy. I mean, yeah, someone can even learn by yourself if you spend sufficient time. Okay. All right. That's the course syllabus, course outline. Any questions and comments from you guys?
I have a question. So, see, we have a final project or final presentation. So, what group size do?
Yeah. Thank you. So basically, the details of the project will be described. So I plan to give the description of the class project later, but as you have asked, then we will talk about it. We can talk about it right now. Let me. I have a WeChat account, but I don't prefer to connect my WeChat with students. It's private use only. If you guys really want, I will apply for a kind of company WeChat, and we can discuss business there. I don't know. I have a different mindset than you guys. Probably it's due to my training. Usually, like we are kind of, you know, more like a kind of a university formal relationship. So kind of WeChat is more like to me it's more like a private, you know, kind of relationship. So I usually like enjoy like using emails to communicate with you guys rather than using WeChat. And also for my PhD students, I never add them into my WeChat Otherwise, I would make a situation that they would be so afraid that I can find them anytime. And I don't want they to, I don't want them to find me anytime as well. So yeah, sometimes I feel this mode would be more comfortable. I don't think so. So far, the mode has been determined based on the university system. So I'm not sure whether it can be turned back. Yeah. And I don't know whether we will have less than 80 because someone still adding my courses. I heard from the general office. Okay, so the class project description, as someone is very curious. So basically, this class project is completely open. Okay, we don't fix any topics. We don't fix one topic that all of you need to compete in this under this one topic. We actually have an open mind. We are okay with different topics, but those topics need to be related to data analytics in smart cities. At least your application domains should be application domains of machine learning should be one of the smart city fields. Okay, so its value should be contribute to advance our cities. Okay, so it can cover a very wide range, including transportation, business, buildings, and so kind of. Students should form a group with no more than 4 members. I don't want to see super big groups. Okay, I think 4 would be good number. Okay, so 3 are also okay. If you want to do solo, it's also okay. But it doesn't mean that if you do solo, then you get more advantages than 4 people. So if your group is not more than 4, then all of you will be evaluated with the same standard. So the project progress should be should include the following 5 steps. Okay, so what I would like to encourage you guys to do is I would like to encourage you to really act as an ad hoc data analytics team. That means you are facing some ad hoc tasks. They are new. They don't have existing solutions, and you need to work from zero. Okay, so that includes forming groups and identify topics and access to the availability of the data resources. Okay, so if you have some data or some problems associated with, then that would be great. Okay, you save a lot of efforts. But if you have no resources and no idea, then I would recommend you guys to get to some AI competitions or contests or data science competition contests like Kaggle, WDD, and other context data sets. Okay, so there are so many. So the smart city also can include some weather issues. Okay, so some weather predictions. So you are able to get the atmosphere data, weather data from some public resources. Okay. Then second step would be the data pre-processing and formulating the problems. Okay. And the third one would be developing methods or algorithms for solving the problems you formulated. And then you conduct computational experiments and collecting results from the experiments and do the analysis. And last one is you need to make presentation and the reports. And there will be some key timelines. You guys need to try to chat with each other to find your team group mates. Okay, that will you guys are required to submit the team information by September 16th. And the presentation will happen at the end of this semester. So it will start at November 18th. And the last week will be the deadline of submitting the project report. Okay. So that's all about the course outline. And project information. Okay, so today we probably just consume 2 hours, and the last hour will be left for you guys to try to match with each other. Okay, to form teams to do research, to do the class project, research project. Okay. Any questions or comments?
Sorry, I have another one. So I see we have 5 points attendance grade. So like, how does it count it? You have to sign or you have to type here at the beginning of the Zoom chat. Or...
Yeah, basically, I will encourage you guys to attend this class. So, but I don't want to be that mean. So basically, everyone will get 5%.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys do not have other questions and comments, then we probably will go to the main dish today, the lecture. Okay, lecture 1. Yeah, the time limit of the presentation will be updated later, because we don't know, this is the first week, right? We don't know how many of students will remain or how many of new members will join. So probably after 2 or 3 weeks, once we fix the total number of students in this class, then we can have more specific arrangement, and I will announce later. Yeah, thank you very much for this comment. Yeah, good to communicate. Okay, so we will start our yeah, the standard of evaluating presentation. We will also announce it later, but just now I already explained a little bit. So the novelty, the innovative elements of the problem or of the application scenario will be more important than just applying whatever simple or complicated machine learning tools. Okay, so I don't want it to be just a kind of arbitrary problem that you got some data, then you just dump it into an algorithm and run results, then you present it. Okay, that doesn't work. I want it to be reasonable why you are doing this work and how the data will benefit it, and what are the insights you generated from analyzing those data, and how the subsequent solutions will be. Okay. Example, some presentation example. I need to think about it, because I don't want to give you guys an example so that everyone will follow that pattern. That will kill the innovations, I would say. Okay. I don't like 5 team members, so it's no more than 4. No arguments. Sorry. It's fine. Like, no need to have 5. Okay. All right. So let's start our lecture today. Let me see. Okay, we can go through some of the slides, then we have to go with break. Okay. So yeah, so today I'm going to give you guys a kind of brief introduction of smart city. And more importantly, I would like to introduce the opportunities and the roles of data science in the smart city development. Okay. So first of all, everyone will ask a question that what is smart city? And so far, because so far we don't have a kind of standard example to say what is a smart city. It's on development. and different places, they will have different initiatives, okay? And different people will have different says on the smart city. Okay, it's difficult to get a concrete answer, but there are indeed some of the general definition. So I like this Wikipedia one. So it basically summarizes the main trends of the smart city development. So it described that a smart city is kind of urban area, uses IoT sensors to collect data and then use insights gained from data to manage assets, resources, and services efficiently. So one key point is the IoT sensors. So I would say a smart city, the one important thing is the instrumentation for collecting data. So you want to make one complicated systems run efficiently or intelligently. You need to know its condition so that you can control, okay? Or you can improve, you can optimize. And these IoT sensors are it will be the eyes, or it will be the noses of a smart city to collecting every pieces of information so that they will know what has happened in somewhere and what will be subsequent reactions, okay? So the IoT sensors will be the infrastructure that generating, collecting, or somehow we say generating data of the smart city, okay? And this IoT data can be also tracked back. You will have the history. So you will have a kind of digital replication of the smart city dynamic, of a city dynamics, okay? You can track back. We are using the data. We are looking into the data and know what has happened in the past. And you might also use those information to predict what will happen in the future. Meanwhile, those data and those information will be good decision support for the management in the smart city. Okay, so in a city, you need to manage a lot of things. First, the energy systems supporting the city operation, the transportation systems, the healthcare resources. That's all the main parts support our daily life. So you need to manage those systems and those resources and make sure that people will be access to those services efficiently and make the whole city service more intelligently and conveniently. So you have to have data, and where does those data come from? The IoT sensors. Okay. And besides these IoT sensors, what has been changed nowadays in the world? The 5G network. And you guys might say, like, the 5G network, so far it does not look like making any significant impact that everyone has to switch from nowadays our LTE services to 5G. But something are developing and you didn't see. One important thing is the lamppost, the smart lamppost. Okay. Why smart lamppost? I need to mention here. Because smart lamppost has been considered as one significant infrastructure to develop the 5G routers and the whole 5G network. So the 5G, its bandwidth and its frequency. So its station cannot be really far away. So their distance are limited due to the fast data transmission. So it probably keep like a lamppost needs to be kind of 1 kilometers away, so that the 5G nodes, like one lamppost will act as a node of the whole 5G network. And what is a really 5G network serve for the city? The 5G network is very speedy. It can transmit a video in a second. That means a 1 gigabyte file in in a second. What does that change? That changes a lot. The first thing will be the autonomous driving. Okay. So you guys may question. So a lot of companies, they are developing autonomous driving, but it looks like there are still a lot of arguments on such kind of techniques. Okay, it might not that be automated, but I would say there will be a number of different scenarios possibly happen in the future. You guys can remember what I say and try to verify it in the future. The first one is, in the future, there will be a road system that purely autonomous driving. That means human driving will be separated. And this autonomous driving, it will be controlled as a platoon by a manhattan system to allocate the vehicles and to communicate each other to ask them operate with a more efficient, centralized, data-driven way. Okay. So why we need to have such kind of separate road system? No human driving is allowed. It will simplify the case. So human behavior sometimes might be unpredictable. Okay, the human errors sometimes might be unpredictable. So you cannot control such kind of risk. So if you have algorithms to manage the behavior of those vehicles, and those behaviors are controllable because you have the code, okay, you have the rules. So you know what will happen, what are the risks we can prevent. You treat them as machines, a networked systems, then that is easier to manage, okay? And then how does it relate it to 5G? Autonomous vehicles, they need to have sensors. They need to have vision sensors, LiDAR sensors, as well as other sensors, okay, vibration sensors and so on. Those sensors were sensing the information surrounding the vehicle as well as the condition of the vehicle state itself, okay? So the condition data will be kind of numbers. They are easy to collect. They are with a small size. But what is the difference is the vision sensor captured data. They will be clips, images, videos. If the LiDAR data, it will be the whole kind of image of the kind of heat map of the surrounding environment. Okay. So they will have a large size. And you need to share the communication among those mobile vehicles. You need to have a strong network to supporting the transmission of those large-scale files. Okay. So you will see the 5G network is not ready for your mobile phone. It's ready for some toys much larger, much more advanced. Okay. Much out of your imagination. So whether there will be a reality that in the future autonomous driving and human driving can be mixed together, it's like some people are testing it nowadays. It is quite likely, but I cannot sure because we still need to develop those computer vision techniques and machine learning techniques to be more robust, to ensure that the AI will correctly, 100% correctly interpret those images or videos captured by those sensors. Otherwise, any misunderstanding will cause severe accidents. Then that has been proved by the past evidences, either in US or in mainland China or in some other places in Europe. They are developing autonomous vehicles, okay? All right, so probably I went too far, okay? So the Wikipedia actually described the smart city trend from the a kind of networking or from the infrastructure aspect. And the IEEE society, which is the largest society, academic society in the world, it described that a smart city actually brings together technology, government, and society, as well as includes but not limited to following elements: a smart economy, smart energy, smart mobility, smart environment, smart living, smart governance. So you can see that in a smart city, in the future smart city, it will be kind of an all-in-one service. Okay, what does that mean, all-in-one? All functions, they need to be smart. They need to be integrated. They will all integrated with kind of AI and data science techniques. And their data all rely on the frontier sensors, which nowadays we consider as IoT. Okay. So a smart city needs to be smart in terms of its economy, in terms of its energy system, in terms of the way of the mobility. Mobility means travel. Okay. And smart environment, that means it will be smartly respond to the climate changes and all the other things. So remember, in the past in the past days, so in mainland we have Henan province. The suddenly heavy rainfall causes very significant disasters. Okay, so this is caused by probably climate changes, and a smart environment needs to be predictively react to that consequences. That means we can foresee there will be some extreme weather conditions, then we can better prepare ourselves, okay, to avoid the disasters. Smart living, that's a way of living, and smart governance is more like government services, okay? So if we talk about smart living, then will be a lot like, using kind of AI techniques, using the voice control, AI robots, voice control to control every electronic appliances in your home, okay, or remotely control some of your vehicle charging, discharging, and so kind of. So it's kind of you using IoT to centralize every corner of your family data into one of your kind of smartphone, okay, then making decisions far away. So if you want to know more about the elements in a smart city, then I will recommend this article to you guys. It's an article published in the SCI Journal of Clean Air Production. So it is a review journal. It is a review paper. It reviews like the smart city aspects, okay, and what are the indicators to evaluate a smart city. So basically, it says like whether a smart city, the level of the city development as a smart city can be evaluated from the following aspects: its data, its economy, its people, its governance, its environment, its living, and its mobility. And smart city, its scope is so big, and the data science must be one role in it, but it doesn't mean everything. And under each of the category, the data, the economy, people, they have some more specific indicators. So you guys can further check. Okay. All right. So I think next we are going to introduce different initiative, smart city initiatives in different cities around the world. Okay. So it will take, it could be a long, complete study. It will take a while. So at check the time, we probably take 10 minutes break and come back at 8. Then we will continue our lecture. Okay. So that take a 10 minutes break. Wow, so many messages. Yeah, so I guess we should have some student group, right? I guess you guys must have a student group in the WeChat. Every cohort students will have one very big WeChat group. Okay, yeah, someone asked me where am I from? I don't know whether there's something some people you know come from the same province as I'm from. I'm from Fujian province. Yeah. Okay, so next we were, yeah, very glad to see you. Okay, next let's go through the different initiatives of the smart city development around the world. So first, we will use the Amsterdam in Netherlands as an example. So Amsterdam is one of the cities that initiate the smart city development quite early. Actually, it started from 2009, and that is about time I finished my bachelor degree and went to US for my PhD study. Okay, so it's probably a decade ago. It started with quite a large number of projects, but its main focus is to build up a kind of platform which has an IoT infrastructure and plus data collection. So IoT infrastructure utilized for collecting data, and those data are next supporting the decision making in operating a city. Okay, so this is basically one typical framework of the smart city initiative. And what are the decision making about? So it will mainly focus on the traffic management, the energy saving, and the public security. So this the three aspects. And another city is Columbus, Ohio, in United States. So this city is smart city initiative is a little bit different. It more focused on the renewable energy and developing the electric vehicles, okay, usage in the city. It wants the city transportation energy saving to be green, okay. So the city spends quite a lot of efforts to promote the electric vehicles and wants them to replace vehicles consuming fuels, okay? And also wants to build a lot of electricity charging stations so that you can build up a network, okay, for sustaining the running the electric vehicles, as well as probably develop the ride sharing economy mode, okay? Yeah, but such kind of initiative, it looks like nowadays in Shenzhen, it develops quite well. It's pretty successful in Shenzhen. Shenzhen now, you look at the taxi, they are all, you know, BYD taxis. They are all electrical vehicles. There's almost very few vehicles consuming fuels now. So it's pretty green. And a lot of charging stations has been built up as well. That's quite impressive. So the next one is the city Dubai. Okay, so the smart city initiative of Dubai is mainly focused on the digitalization and it was kind of a very old version that you want to build up a Wi-Fi connected city. That's many cities already done, okay? And e-payments and more focus on the business side, okay? So basically it wants to run its business on the e-side using the Wi-Fi communication, using the e-payments, relying on the Wi-Fi everywhere, and so that it can run its business better. And the next city is the city in, I think it's in Sweden, Stockholm, okay? So its smart city initiative focus on the very unique aspect, which is green IT, okay? So one focus is focused on its energy efficient building, sometimes referred to smart and green building. So it wants the building to run smartly with the energy efficiency very high and high energy saving and high energy utilization efficiency, as well as the traffic management. This is close to what Amsterdam in Netherlands do. So using IoT and data science to better manage the traffic condition, better predict the traffic conditions, and advise the traffic plans to the citizens. And some e-services that this man refer to the governance services, okay? It goes more on the e side so that it saves a lot of paper, so that it will be environmentally friendly. And also it can help citizens to better access the public resources. Like if you have an platform for booking public library space, parking spaces, and so kind of, okay, it will be much more convenient. And Singapore is, nowadays the one major competitor of Hong Kong. So right now, Singapore is fighting for the financial center in Asia. I remember a few days ago, I read the news that the Singapore has a larger, exceeds the Hong Kong in the size of the trading volume. Okay. So its smart city initiative has the following aspects. One is the lean and agile digital government services. So a focus on more efficient government services. Then second one is in the business side, that is similar to what Dubai has done. So e-payment, e-commerce. So it's kind of a copy of business mode from mainland. Okay. Digital identity, that is the it's kind of using the smart ID card and so kind of. And national sensing platform, this is more for the security issue, and urban mobility, that is for the traffic. So it looks kind of Singapore has a wider scope, okay, from covers the governance, business issue, and citizen services, security, and traffic management. Hong Kong's smart city blueprint, okay. Hong Kong also devotes a great efforts and is working towards and to build a Hong Kong city smart with the following features, majorly 6 pillars: the smart mobility, smart environment, smart living, smart government, smart economy, and smart people. This is pretty close to what IEEE definition is. So let's look into more about the Hong Kong's definition of smart city. It's sub-initiative. The first is called smart mobility. And the number one important thing is build up the intelligent transportation system and the traffic management. So one great effort has been put to the monitoring of the traffic flow. Okay. So I don't know it probably not that sexy right now. Like you take a taxi, then you got a traffic jam. Basically, you watch the traffic signs. It will tell you. Basically, when you enter tunnels, it will has a rough estimates how long you have to wait. When you take a taxi or you take a ride, you know you need to pass those tunnels, those bottleneck of the traffic network in Hong Kong. Okay. And public transport resources. It wants like to make Hong Kong citizens easier to access those transport resources. So you got to know. So nowadays you are able to download those bus apps, and also the some apps to give you the smart answer about the route planning. Like you want to go from one place to another place in Hong Kong, and they would, you know, give you plans like how you transit. Okay. And you also can have those bus apps, so you know when the bus will arrive, so that it will save your time, so you don't need to, you know, wait outside for a long time, wait for like every 15 minutes and so kind of. And environmental friendly transport. Yeah, Hong Kong also make some initiatives to support the electric vehicles. So there are some, you know, subsidies for supporting the electric vehicle, or the people buying electric vehicles, and the smart airport. Okay. So the smart mobility, is it delayed recently? I don't think so. I even feel like something big is going on in Hong Kong. What I heard is like there will be one. There will be two plans. One is from the I don't know whether it's airport or Dong Chong area. So to the Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai, the bridge. So there, Hong Kong government is planning to build a kind of 5 kilometers long road system, which will be purely autonomous driving. Okay, so there will be transportation systems without any drivers, and particularly running that road, okay, to transport people from the airport to the Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai spot. Okay, and there will be another plan which is from the science park to Shed Moon. I don't know whether you heard about it. So it will be a kind of also one plan is build up the 5G network along that line, and also second deployment is the autonomous driving from science park to Shed Moon. Okay, I'm very looking forward. I believe that the success of those demos will probably lead to significant impact and change the not just the local society, but the whole world significantly. Okay, it's very emerging initiative. Okay, and smart living, basically Wi-Fi connected city is almost there, but I remember in the past years there are still some places we need to pay so that we connect to Wi-Fi. Nowadays, it's kind of in the subway station, the metro station, you are able to access free Wi-Fi. In every mall, you also have free Wi-Fi. Okay, it's very nice. And digital payment. Digital payment is a very, it's a very long story. Okay, so I don't know whether you guys know that I did my undergraduate study in Hong Kong. I studied in Chinese University of Hong Kong in 2004 and graduated in 2008. So I probably was the first batch of or the second batch of the students from mainland to study do the undergrad study in Hong Kong. Okay, so at that time I was very impressed by the octopus card or the octopus payment system, 八达通系统 so at that time, it's like everyone, you want to make e-payment, you have to use credit card, and not everyone have credit card. And it's like still people pay by cash and some kind of. And in Hong Kong, it has the Octopus card, so that you can buy foods, you can access public transportation, okay, using the Octopus card system. I was very impressed by that. And even when I went to US for my PhD study, I actually, you know, was a little bit unhappy because I felt US system was not that, as convenient as in Hong Kong. They don't have Octopus card system. You need to buy the bus tickets for the bus. You need to pay cash to the cabs, okay? And there's no all-in-one card that you can pay and go anywhere. So it's not that convenient. But later, Hong Kong was exceeded by mainland. This is due to the WeChat Pay and the Alipay, 支付宝, okay? That is probably, I don't know, probably 2012 or something. Start from 2012, okay? So Alipay changed a lot, okay? So completely changed the payment culture and behavior in mainland. And I felt Alipay was so convenient, and Hong Kong Octopus system was outdated, okay? And now I will feel that the Octopus system is facing a very stiff competition because Alipay and WeChat Pay, and also kind of pay me system, okay, in Hong Kong, there are so many ways of paying, okay? So it no longer, play a monotone economy. So I'm very impressed right now in Hong Kong, although it takes years to catch up, okay? So digital payments is already pretty successful in Hong Kong. And EIDs and go electronic systems and using EIDs to apply. I think Hong Kong is catching up. It's not as convenient as in mainland in many places, like you're using like one WeChat account, you access everywhere, okay? And support for elderly care and healthcare. And this one is very important, okay? And I think Hong Kong did quite well. The elderly care system, it has tradition, very nice elderly care and healthcare. But the digitalization is not that yet, okay? It's still developing. It will take time to change because this domain has some traditions, has some barriers to change. The smart environment, Hong Kong wants to first handle the climate issue. That means some disasters caused by the climate changes. So that relies on a very strong weather forecasting system, okay? So we rely on the Hong Kong Observatory, okay, to develop stronger, okay, forecasting system and more accurate, more foreseeing, okay. And green and intelligent building. This has been the topic talked over the past 5 years. I feel that it might not be that easy to implement a green and intelligent building in Hong Kong because Hong Kong has limited land supply and many high-rise buildings. But the fundamental issue is the power system has not been renovated to kind of smart grid, and naturally, like, cannot well support the technology of intelligent buildings. Although people are doing that, I know that Hong Kong is making progress in deploying the smart meters. It plans to do like finish in 5 years. It's already progressed in with 2 years right now. We will see. Once the smart grid is ready, then the intelligent building will not be too long, okay? You are able to use smart meters to collect information of every corner of the building, and you know where the energy consumption is peaked, and when the kind of energy waste happens, and so kind of to save energy, to make it greener. And also, if you have a smart grid, then you're able to integrate better about the renewables. Hong Kong does not have large-scale renewable system, but it do have some, small-scale solar panels and small-scale wind turbines to support the electricity supply of the lampposts and those low energy consumption equipments. And another important aspect is the using IoT and data science to do better waste management and to do better pollution monitoring, okay, to ensure the quality of our living environment. And smart people, basically, Hong Kong government is now, deploying more investment to nurturing our young talents and especially encourage people to do more innovation and entrepreneurship culture. So it's kind of educating people and with the most recent technology and knowledge to make sure that we're able to handle the most frontier information. And a smart government is more like government services. So we can see that Hong Kong government is doing well. A lot of services, like you can go online, and the clear procedure. You have the clear instruction. What you need to prepare, and how long you will get results. Okay. But on the other side, the government services is it needs to push forward is the access of the public resources. Okay. So nowadays, it's still like on the way going, but we haven't seen such kind of system that you will have a public website that you will know where the parking slots are open or are available. Okay, and when I should book what kind of facilities. Okay, and smart economy. One aspect is definitely strengthen the existing pillars, the financial area, the tourism helps out, like after the our borders are open, okay, and promoting sharing economy. Well, the sharing economy is a difficult story because it is a kind of issue that probably needs a lot of investment from the public side or from the government side. Okay, so it looks like sharing bikes projects in Hong Kong failed, but I recently see some new projects come out, like local bikes, but in the past, like a GoGo bike or some other brands, they all fail. Okay, and sharing riding is more like Uber and Didi. Okay, so Uber and Didi can be a successful example that if some people they have car available in some usual time, they can sharing their resources with others who needs riding. Okay, and smart economy probably develop some new pillars, new modes, okay, new business models, and new economic systems. So some smart city initiatives in mainland. I believe that mainland is driven by the high tech and very fancy technologies quite fast. And the city brand project in Alibaba, Hangzhou, is one very impressive project. It actually monitors every corner of the city, the energy consumption, its transportation. So this is due to the support of the different departments in the government. So and the company is able to access the data and integrate all the information so that those information will be further support better running the whole city development. Okay. So the city brand projects, I know a little bit brief, but not that in details. I know that it starts from the transportation side, and one important aspect is the data collection of the transportation. But after the successful of the transportation data visualization and monitoring, then it is gradually expand to the traffic monitoring and management, then to the energy consumption and public resources access, and finally to business sectors. Okay. So at the beginning, people just want to visualize, know what is going on there. Otherwise, you don't know. If you don't have any data, you don't have any visualization, you don't have any information, you don't know what has happened in every corner of the city simultaneously. Okay. Then once you have those data, you will have a faster response because you will know probably this has a traffic jam happens and that has some event happens. Okay. You can respond to those unexpected events faster. Okay. And with a more accurate strategy. So we know that transportation systems in smart city is very important. And in the future smart city, the autonomous vehicle is a kind of high frequent word. It's kind of almost sure that there will be some autonomous driving system there in a smart city. And then how can we determine the level of the autonomous driving? So there are 5 levels. The first one is called driver assistance. That means you have a system that to support the driver, okay? But the system cannot take the control. It just give advices or give some information so the driver can observe, can make reactions. And the second level is called partly automated driving. So in this mode, systems can take control, but drivers will remain responsible for operating the whole vehicle. Some it's like some cruise mode, okay, in the vehicle, like in the highway. If you change to a cruise mode, you don't need to tap the oil pad, okay, the fuel pad. The system will automatically fix the speed of the vehicle on the road. And the third level is kind of highly automated driving. So this is already a little bit advanced. That means in some scenarios, the driver can leave the control, okay, can disappear from the driving for some period of time. And fully automated driving, that's a level 4. The vehicles drive most of the time, but drivers should be sitting there and monitor the dynamics of the system, but you can take a nap, okay, sometime. And the last level is kind of full automation. That means in a vehicle, all people are passengers, no driver sits, and the vehicle assumes all driving functions, okay? So autonomous driving. So the left figure shows the typical autonomous driving car setup. So you basically, it's a vehicle equipped with a large number of sensors, okay, different types of sensors. Basically, the sensors were sensing the front and the back and the 2 sides. Okay, you have the distance sensors as well as the vision sensors. Okay. So the right side is a kind of future autonomous driving map. Okay, kind of blueprint. That means every autonomous vehicle will be act as an agent. So it will have the sensing capability to sense its neighbors, but it will also have the communication to the cloud, which is the city brand. Okay, so it will receive the high level information from the city brand that what is the condition of the traffic flow that you are involved in, and what is the general distance planted, and how this group of vehicles should be controlled to make sure that the traffic flows smoothly. Okay, so that means the traffic as an individual, it has some control, but the city brand as a manager, as a boss, it managed from a high level side. Okay, it kinds of two-level operations and control of the traffic vehicles. This is kind of imagination. Okay, we don't know whether it will come true someday in the future, but it is likely happen this way. If we want to realize autonomous driving in the city, it will be likely this way. And it will be very likely to ensure the safety from the safety assurance aspect. It will be better to have a road system that all the vehicles are autonomous driving vehicles. And it controlled by some, machines or brands, so that you will avoid the unexpected behaviors from human beings. Okay, it will better guarantee the safety. So it will be quite likely happen this way. And I don't know, Hong Kong government is planning doing that. I really expect how the how the part of the land from the airport to the Hong Kong Macau Zhuhai bridge, and that whole land 5 kilometers will only have the autonomous vehicles, and no human driving cars are allowed. And it could be a very concept proof that whether autonomous driving can happen in the real world. Okay. So besides the transportation system, the next very important issue is the from the transportation to the energy. Okay, this is another important topic I would share with you, is called electric vehicles and IoT. Okay, there's a very obvious trend that vehicles will gradually have the entertainment function as your mobile phones, as your smartphones. Okay, so it is not just a mobility. The electric vehicles will not just have the mobility function. It will also have the internet entertainment functions embedded in this one. It will kind of, I don't know whether the future will more called as a platforms rather than just a vehicle. Okay. But one eager issue nowadays we are facing is the nowadays our power grid is facing a transformation that a whole city will have more and more electric vehicles. And these electric vehicles recharge their energy using the electricity rather than fuels. So the questions come out: where should we build up those charging stations? And how can we handle those charging demand in the city grid? And Hong Kong energy profile or the portfolio is a little bit simple. But if we look at larger area like a mainland, you will find that the power grids will be larger scale, and it will involve more renewable energy resources like solar powers, wind powers, and also to handle those variations of those renewable energy outputs, you need to pair them with the energy storage system, battery energy storage system, as well as the traditional power plant as a backup. Okay. Then you will see the power supply side have uncertainty, and the charging side, the demand side, will also have uncertainty. Then to handle the two different dynamics and balancing them, then that's where data science needs to be act. Okay, and those AI aspects need to act. So there's a new concept called EV in the energy internet and integration. It's called EI square. Okay, energy internet and integration. It's not Internet of Things. It's an Internet of Energy. So you have energy measured everywhere. You are able to monitoring the energy flow, and you know where the demand comes from, where the supply comes from, which part is short of energy, and which part has kind of excessive power generation. So it will be an integration of IoT technology, the cloud computing, edge computing, big data, and AI. That is the future energy and power system concept. It's EI square. Yeah. And another important initiative in the energy side, I didn't prepare that slide. It's called resilient power system. And what does the resilient power system mean? Resilient is a word kind of similar to reliability, but not that. Okay, reliability means a system should be reliable, guarantee such kind of performance. And resilient means we take an economic option and a strategy plan to make sure that once we face any climate change event or sudden events or sudden disasters, how soon we can recover from such kind of disaster or such kind of damage, and which part we need to repair or recover first, and gradually expand to different other parts of the city. Okay, and that is the resilience in a city. That's also a very fancy concept. In smart home talk about our living concepts. Okay, basically it is also a kind of IoT concept, but the IoT is not kind of deploying sensor everywhere. It's kind of every electrical appliances is a kind of computer, and it has a sensors inside of that system, and you have your mobile phone or you have a family computer to connect every components and communicate with them. So you are able to control remotely, make more intelligent arrangement. Okay, for example, fix the time of the AI washing machine to say, okay, when to wash the clothes. Okay, and also predetermine the schedule of the air conditioning operation. And an AI refrigerator, its main function is you have a screen summarizing what are the foods stored in this refrigerator, and when you put in this stuff and when it will expire, so that you are able to better manage those stuff inside your refrigerator. Okay. And also some personal assistants. I guess some of you have already been very familiar with this, like Amazon Alexa, Xiaomi Xiaoai, and iPhone Siri. Okay, they are all the projects that using natural language processing, the voice signal, and machine learning to help people to realize the voice control, and using AI to communicate with you, try to understand what you mean, and try to assist you to realize some functions. And smart building. Last one, smart building. So previous one, we talked about the smart home. That is more related to our kind of daily living. And smart building is a kind of concept which mainly focus on the energy efficiency. Okay, sometimes it's called carbon zero building or green building. So basically nowadays, our building take electricity from our power grid on. So in the future, in a building, we might consider equip it with some renewable resources and make a building as a kind of microgrid. You have a self-electricity supply function. Okay, and also you have the IoT systems sensing the every energy consumer in the building. For example, if the city is all of the electric vehicles, then your parking slots must be paired with some charging capability. Okay, then you need to have IoT to sensing how many cars are parking there, then they're doing the charging behavior, and how the electronic appliances like computers, okay, and other energy consumers, what are the load of their patterns. So you're sensing the information from every corner, you're able to respond, and you are able to realize which part is kind of waste of energy, okay? Then you can better manage the load of the whole building and to maximize the utilization of renewables and to make the whole building greener, okay? So basically, it still relies on the IoT system, which connecting building systems, connecting people and technology, connecting to global environment, and connecting to the smart grid. So one smart building important subject is major energy consumer, which is called the HVAC system. It's a heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. Okay. So it looks like complicated, the name, but you know that this system is kind of aircon in your home. But aircon can only do cooling, right? So this HVAC system can do heating, cooling, and refresh air. So in the mall, you can see that most of the time the windows are closed. Okay, they never open a window. But you want to keep the fresh air in the building, then you need to have this ventilation machine, okay, to exchange air inside the building and the outside. In such kind of large scale system, which is a centralized system to supply the cooling, heating, and fresh air inside the whole building. So it is the main energy consumer, and it's efficient and advanced control and operation matters a lot in the energy consumption. Okay. And other smart building functions kind of better services. And how the AI techniques happen in those better services. One is using robots, IoT system, okay, and make it less human, more efficient, and more automated, using sensors, using data, and you will know what has happened, okay, then react. And another is AI shopping. That is a crazy idea, but it's deploying now. It's like we're using LiDAR data. And in the past, people might using cameras, but that some people might mind about that because cameras will capture your face. So it will be able to get the identity. But LiDAR data, we're just sensing, will not be able to get your face, your identity. So it becomes much more useful. But what is the purpose of deploying kind of LiDAR inside a mall? You can sense the surrounding dynamics. You will know how the customers flows around different shops, and when you got a peak and where the peak stays. So those data can be generated, prepared for different stores in this mall. And what they will deal with those data, they will watch and see how the customer behave according to different seasons, according to different time. Then you can do better planning of your promotion. Then you can determine the product style, which product is more attractive. Okay. And also for the mall management side, they will see which brand is going to dead and which brand is going to be popular. So they can dynamically adjust the brand of the stores in the mall to keep the door always fresh. Okay. So this is one AI shopping idea. Okay. And e-commerce and logistics. It is the e-commerce and logistics is also an important aspect in the nowadays smart city. And the e-commerce basically means like using internet and web or business transactions. Okay. So I guess everyone has been very proficient with that. If you have Taobao and you have JD, Jingdong, and you have Hong Kong local people, HKTV Mall, and so kind of. Okay. We don't nowadays we don't need to go to a real store. We can buy over internet. But e-commerce lives on the development of IT and cyber worlds. So it offers a platform for accessing a variety of goods and services without a limitation of regions and time. And definitely the logistics is one of the fundamental infrastructure supporting e-commerce, which realizes delivery of the values in the real world. So how the data science happens in the e-commerce and logistics, and how does data science and AI technique transform the e-commerce and logistics? And one important technology is called recommendation system, tracking the data and determining the habit and behavior of the customer, and customize the promotion strategies for the e-commerce store. Okay, recommendation system. Another is the logistics supply chain evolution. Okay, nowadays, so a lot of AI techniques for like the what is that? I forgot the term of that, but it's like you have some chips that you can attach with the product, which can record. RFID. Yeah. So RFID technique is a kind of one fundamental technique in IoT right now. So a lot of times now the food is a kind of attached with RFID, especially some very expensive food. So what people care about is where it comes from, how does this food be produced, okay, and whether it is fresh, okay. So all the information contained in the chip you can trace back to its history. So the food becomes more reliable, okay, and probably can appreciate higher prices. And the other is the way of doing logistics, okay, more efficient supply chain, okay, and better planning of the whole system, and probably in the future using drones and unmanned vehicles to do a delivery, okay. So and another is the payment methods and new business mode is like you can see like using the Alipay, then you will see a lot of discounts and different discounting strategy, promotion strategy, and the games to attracting you to give you some credit, quotas, benefits back, and so kind of that, or some planning determined by the back-end data collection and AI techniques. Okay, there's some like fintech scenario, also like new financial scenarios to do like new scenarios of doing banking, doing payment, okay, doing business. And yeah, I guess we probably stop here. Okay, we call it a day, and remaining time, I will say, let me see. Yeah, that's finished the sharing economy aspect. And next class, we will focus on talking about two important subjects. One is called cloud computing, another is called IoT. Okay, that is one important concepts in the smart city infrastructure. Okay, so another important aspect in smart city and for data science participants is called sharing economy. Okay, so sharing economy is kind of a new paradigm of economic development. So basically, its occurrence relies on the IT development. Okay, first you have the IoT infrastructure, then you were sensing where the shared assets are, so that you will guarantee that it will not be disappeared or damaged by the other coincidence and that kind of things. Then you are able to share with a certain confidence. And what they change the business mode. It becomes a peer-to-peer business. It's not like you have a particular service provider. It's like anyone can do business to other. It's kind of P2B business. Okay. And it does a cloud-based capitalization, so it saves a lot of costs in the whole society. Okay. But I should say a lot of sharing economy a model fail in the past. It is not the theory failure. It's kind of the capital abuse the whole system, I should say. And optimally utilize the idle resources and flexibly in the asset management. So that is the advantage of the sharing economy. And we have sharing rides, we have sharing bikes. Okay, so the sharing bikes now is in very difficult situation, and sharing rides, well, also have some difficulties. It's more like from the government policy or some law side for example Uber. Okay, so in some of the regions, typically like Hong Kong, currently the current law is also have some contradictory of the Uber business mode. So sometimes the Uber it's just like operating under kind of it's kind of under table business. And besides those sharing rides and sharing bikes, and some more classical model is like cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing is kind of sharing of the computing resources. Okay, and Airbnb is kind of sharing of the living, but its business mode recently also got challenged by the regulations. Okay, but we will see that sharing economy could be one big way to go. Okay, and you want to make sharing economy more efficient, more effective, you have to rely on IoT to timely collecting the information and data and more dynamically making decisions. Otherwise, you're gonna facing quite a lot of uncertainty and a lot of payoffs. Okay. And how does data science involve in sharing economy? The first one is the IoT infrastructure for assessing demand and supply. Okay. And another aspect is the data-driven optimization, so that you can do real-time resources allocation and planning. And third one might be just data analytics to find more business insights, and also using those data to monitor the services and the operations quality. Okay, those are the four major directions. And what about the future of the smart city? And probably our guess, or my guess of the future smart city, is a kind of first, it will be a connected world. It's not just connected based on IoT, it's a kind of connected based on in between the physical and the cyber world of the whole city as well. And we don't know whether there will be any cyber scenarios, especially in the AR and like augmented reality and virtual reality techniques becomes more widely utilized. The whole world will be more colorful. And the development of smart city aims to break boundaries of accessing information and resources. We want those to be publicly available, more convenient to every citizen. And the whole city becomes more efficient and have more automated processes and optimization of the public resources, so less waste. and we want to lower the cost and offer higher flexibility in the services. And from the manufacturing side, we want to do mass customization. That means everyone wants uniqueness in your product or in your service. But we have so many people, then we need to supply those customization in a large scale. So that's called mass customization. And more digitalized in terms of every aspect, and probably incorporate the intelligence, like AI agents in the smart city system. And the last more important thing is the definition of the smart city actually evolves with time, okay? So today's smart city definition probably won't fit for the future smart city definition. And the smart city scope, from a technical side, a smart city solution, first you need to have kind of sensing system, IoT system. So a lot of efforts should be devoted into the instrumentation measurement. And another is the edge data processing. Although we have 5G, but data could be infinite large if we don't well control the data size. So if there are in the future, there are also extraordinary large data sets, and how can we handle that? Or even we don't have 5G, and how can we handle that? We cannot, and also we cannot have an infinite large space to store those data. So the edge data processing becomes very important. Some of the sensing information, we want it to be computed immediately in the edge device. So it just returns the analytical results, which are smaller size, to the cloud, okay, to help the transmission and the storage. And then the AI methodological side. So it needs to involve big data analytics, some deep learning optimization. And from the computing aspects, we need to have cloud computing. And the AI application side, we need to have more advanced computer vision and process engineering, system models, decision making, the knowledge will be involved. And from the automation side, it will involve system control, condition monitoring, robotics, and reliability. Okay. So this is kind of the knowledge involved in a smart city solution. We can see that the cyber side is where the data science and AI stays on. And it will not leave without any physical side, like system control, robotics, and data sensing and collection and storage. Okay. So I think that's all I would like to share with you guys today. So we will call it a day here as the first lecture. And the remaining time you guys can spend on exchanging your ideas, finding partners for the project. Okay. And any questions and comments so far for you guys? If no, then we will call it a day, and I look forward to see you guys next week. And have a nice weekend. Okay, bye-bye. So I will. So you see, the only way, the chat box, the only way to find out your friends. So if it is not, then I probably will close the Zoom. Okay. You guys will probably chat for your campus or some other ways. The Canvas system can Canvas system communicate, or you have a group via WeChat. Okay. All right, I will dismiss. End up the Zoom here. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.